This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. The Bahamas Utility Services and Allied Workers Union should have gotten a strike certificate today, if not tomorrow. Here's Labor Minister Dion Folks on the issue.
With respect to the managerial union, I am seeking advice, legal advice on that matter. I hope to have it determined by tomorrow. I know there's some constitutional issues involved in terms of workers that do come out and vote, and they should get a determination as soon as possible. So hopefully by the end of business today, I will make a determination on the managerial union.
As for the relationship between the unions and WSC executives, Minister Folks believes it has improved.
They did have two relatively productive meetings. It seems as if both sides are talking, and I think the respect level has been restored. There was a period there where it was a little bit touchy, but I believe that both sides now are talking, and I've encouraged them so to do. And my main function as Minister of Labour is to ensure that both sides respect each other and that both sides negotiate. I'm the Director of Labour, and my senior officers down to the department, they're intimately involved with the talks. Mr. Ranford Patterson, who is our labor consultant, he's also involved.
Now on Friday, Trade Union of Congress President Obie Ferguson called on the minister to intervene in the matter, charging that if a strike certificate was not issued, the unions would take the matter to court. Talks ongoing between the government and OBAN officials, so says Senator Folks, who also serves as head of Cabinet's OBAN subcommittee. This following 2 days of meetings between the two sides last month to negotiate a new heads of agreement.
No, we are still talking with respect to the economic provisions of the heads of agreement. I have nothing new to report on that matter.
Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Aminis insists the new OBAN Energies deal will be in the best interest of Bahamians. The initial agreement called for a $5.5 billion oil refinery and storage facility in East End, Grand Bahama. The deal went belly up soon after being signed last February. Ponciano House officially opened. The newly renovated complex sits on approximately 7.3 acres, stretching from East Bay Street in the north to Shirley Street in the south. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Aminis, during the ribbon-cutting ceremony, said Ponciano House is now home to the Securities Commission, Insurance Commission, and Compliance Commission of the Bahamas.
These regulators will continue to enjoy synergies derived from their physical proximity to each other, including certain shared functions and the sharing of related costs. Ponciano House symbolizes the evolution of financial services in the Bahamas and the increasing prominence world-class regulation plays in safeguarding the reputation of our jurisdiction as a premier international financial center.
As growth seems to be the leading factor for the complex's relocation, the Prime Minister is hoping for added growth.
It is a happy circumstance and quite fitting that we are inaugurating Ponciano House just as the Royal Poinciana are beginning to bloom throughout our archipelago. The blooming of these majestic trees and the commissioning of this site represent a new spring, a time of new possibilities within various industries, including financial services.
The Prime Minister says the government will continue to diligently cut through the bureaucratic and legislative roadblocks, red tape, and mindsets that impede greater and quicker progress in making the country a competitive jurisdiction in a host of industries. The Prime Minister also at the time announced a new public-private program geared towards increasing Bahamian ownership of government assets. The plans to curb the number of complaints surrounding government buildings maintenance issues. The government would in turn be able to rent its own facilities. Now, on the sidelines of Friday's ribbon-cutting ceremony at Ponciano House, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Peter Turnquest gave these added comments.
We have not come up with any concrete plans yet, but the idea basically is that all of the government assets would go into a trust fund or a special sovereign fund where Bahamians will be able to invest in it with a guaranteed return. And the trust fund would be responsible for managing those assets to ensure that their upkeep is up to par, that they take care of the remediation issues that continue to pop up in all of these ministries, to ensure that the environment for our civil service is comfortable, it is modern, and they are afforded a good workplace.
Now, the DPM says the matters before Cabinet. Our final story is up next.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.